Santa Claus, the magic of the FA Cup, and GTA 6. These are all things people still delusionally believe in. But what do you two, Sam and Jack, delusionally believe in the world of Counter-Strike?
Ted Kaczynski.
I mean, he was real.
He was a real...
People in the world of Counter-Strike are real.
Real fella.
You're about to say names like Hampus, Nathany, and perhaps even Chopper. Why can I not believe in the Unabomber?
Nathany is the truth.
A terrorist of your own, yes. Okay, I understand. Go on, Jack.
That's good. Yeah, I believe in Nathany still. I think if Spirit they have to make changes, which they don't, because Chopper's really good. He's actually the solution. It's not Boomich. It's Nathany.
I like how you could have.
I mean,
that's believe that Fuzzy's actually a good AWPer.
They could kick Zwei because he's pretty shit. You know, that also is an option.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I mean, he is going, isn't he? Soon as Zontix has had his holiday, he's coming back.
We will get onto that very shortly.
Yeah, I think my actual Counter-Strike belief, even though he has justified it more than other people, is probably Alexi B.
Confirmation bias.
Of what?
Him being good. won a few times. It's not really what
confirmation bias
means. I'm a little confused.
No, you're no, because you're saying that he actually is good, and you believe in him when he's only had success for 3 months out of his career.
I'm not really sure.
I mean, that's more success than Nathany's had, no?
Not at all. Nathany's a IEM Chengdu winner. Brackets online.
This is IEM his room winner.
I've
got so many.
He's never won an IEM. Oh, you won Rio. Yeah, Nathany would have been a major winner if he was on Spirit.
Okay. Look, I've got loads of these. I mean, I wrote an article where I talked about Doc as a what-if player. That's my delusion. That's my most delusional one, I think. That's particularly delusional. I've got Mia. I still think Mia's good. And I still kind of believe in...
Was Mia ever good? Like good? Like, I'm sure he was fine. Was he ever good?
He HLTV number 21 one year. He just missed out on top 20 by one place.
Okay.
And what's the fellow who was on Virtus.pro never threw grenades? cadiaN. I loved cadiaN. Still think he's good.
No,
still think
crap.
He got it.
Yeah, cadiaN's got
he's actually crap.
Yeah, of course he is, but I still like him. Yeah, no, of course he is, but I still kind of feel it. I'm surprised you didn't say Patsy, Jack.
This is a delusion. He's really good. He's really good.
I used to go to school with somebody who, when I was very, very young, we had to introduce ourselves with a name and a fun fact about ourselves, and he just went, "My name's Nathan, and I don't believe in octopuses." That's the most
Nathan?
Delusional belief. It was. That's his actual most delusional belief ever. On that, we will roll the intro music. IEM Chengdu, that's what you guys have been watching if you've been up at 3 o'clock with us three. Or later in the day if you're from further east, or earlier in the night if you're from the west. I don't know why I'm harping on so much.
Crazy.
We had to be up so early to watch this, but I'm glad we were, because this was actually a super fun tournament. As you can see on your screen, if you've got the screen, you can see who won. We actually want to start with the start of the play. Well, actually, just before the playoffs, because that's where we ended last week's podcast. And we had a bit of a conversation in the week about Spirit that we wanted to bring onto the podcast. Sam, state your case. What does Spirit need to do?
Well, number one, Zwei needs to go, doesn't he? Because he's just like, he's not cutting it. But I'd also like to point out Tania. Charlie, if you could click on Tania, please. So, past 3 months, they are not particularly nice stats, considering how he was playing before that. Like, for the sake of it, Charlie, if you just whack it onto 2025, I know that'll have the Spirit time in. That is a very big drop-off, right? Mm-hmm. And look, I know we've spoken about this before. I know that, Russian IGLs, there's not exactly many good ones, but I just think if we're at a point now where 4 separate players are struggling in these 2 extra spots in Spirit, and that they actually probably don't win as many events as they should, considering the fact that they have Donk and Shiro. And also, they have had some pretty fucking disastrous T-sides recently, and it was a huge problem in Chengdu. Maybe, just maybe, it might be time to look at someone other than Chopper. And here's the thing, before you say it, I'm not 100% convinced anyone would be better than Chopper. I have reservations about Boomich. I have reservations about Nathany. With serious reservations about him, actually. And your other option is, like, Leah, who you'd be promoting from, like, one solid Namiga run that's dropped off a cliff since they lost Way. But are we really saying that everything we see from Spirit is actually acceptable, or are we just a little biased?
So I got a couple of things to say. First of all, there is another option for Russian IGL.
No, don't say it.
It's James. Even if it's James in a Fallen arc, it's James. James is almost certainly the best Russian IGL.
Oh, without almost a doubt, he's the best Russian IGL. But here's the thing, Elliot.
So even if he has, he actually rifles. So he actually rifles a lot on T side nowadays. That's something I looked into recently. Somebody sent me some data on it. Yeah. He rifles a lot on T side.
But rifling a lot on T side.
James won a major and 5 ESL challenges, and Chopper's won a major and Kato and Cologne.
Yeah,
there's levels to this game. I'm afraid.
But the thing is, like,
he had flitted fame.
Side.
Respect.
Okay, rifling on T side is one thing, Elliot. Like, a lot of people rifle on T side more than they ought now. That is just kind of the way the game has gone. You've seen the same data as I have for that. Rifling on CT side is another thing, because yes, James could have a Fallen arc. He's not horrible on a rifle. But
he's pretty good on a rifle, actually.
But James could also have a cadiaN arc. And that's...
he could.
That's obviously a big concern.
But I think look, if you're going to change Chopper, I'd rather James on a rifle than Nathany or Boomich or Leah. Personally. Or Jerry.
Okay. Jerry.
I think that's a better shout.
Bring him back.
Yeah, well, exactly, right? Like,
but we've always said the same thing, right? In that James needs soldiers. Who do you see?
Well, that's why you replace Vey with Norbert.
It is one soldier enough.
An illegal suggestion.
Well, but like James would be a soldier in this case because he wouldn't be orphan.
But James also never had a Donk or a Shiro, right? Like, has he ever actually had to call with such star power? No.
So but you have to like Shiro becomes what would be James in the old VP system, which would mean James is free to be a soldier. You would bring in Norbert to be another soldier. Donk becomes like Flit or Fame, and then Tania can be the other one. Probably Flit. Well, no, Norbert's your Kindar, because Norbert became your Kindar when your Kindar left. and he was really good at it. Actually, he was like he had an uptick in performance when he was like being
he's not
used as a
donk
battery
levels though, is he?
No, he's not. But you just he doesn't need to kill
I
it.
think the criticism about Zwei's is reasonable, right? I think it's totally fair, and I think we all know this is just a band-aid fix for until Zontix has had his sabbatical or whatever, right? Tania was the best player on a bad team, and is now the third best player on a very good team. He's not going to put the same numbers up, is he? Like I think it's silly to think that. He's not been as good as we'd hoped. I'd agree with that, but he's also positionally he was set up in Heroic to perform, right, and to have success. He's not set up in the same way because the system requires different attributes, right?
I think that's bullshit. Honestly, I think that's cope. So you're telling me that...
I mean, you call it what you want. It's not cope when it's.
But so you're telling me that Fallen can set up 3 people for success, and Apex can set up 3 people for success. Fucking Brolan can set up 3 people for success, but Chopper can't.
Success.
No, but why is Spirit the only team?
No, but he can. He's setting up the best player in the world and probably the second, third best opener in the world.
By the way, what Charlie has just brought up is a list of games that I found from this year, because obviously Spirit don't actually lose that much. All of these losses are due to poor teams.
So why are we complaining?
Yeah,
well,
I mean, you can point to lots of. I watched the semi. I watched Vitalis versus Mouse at this event, and these were some of the worst T sides I've ever seen.
I think we're just in a meta where T sides aren't strong, and also, it's literally like saying, "Oh, you lose the matches where you concede more goals." Of course. Yeah. If you're going to lose the game, you get one of your sides going to be worse.
It's not like that. No, it is. This is this is a repeated problem.
If they only lost a bad T size, fine. But I think you've selected data where they've had bad T sides.
No, Jack. They don't lose much more than this. They don't lose much more than this.
Yeah, but
of course their CT
sides are good.
This is from the start of the year, and there's 10 games there.
But
whatever.
Of course they're not going to have bad CT sides because A, the game's CT sided, and B, they have 4 star level players.
The game hasn't been CT sided for most of the year. It hasn't been. Most of the maps in the map pool were T-sided.
I mean, when I looked at the round win data from this year, there weren't that many teams who were positive.
So this is right. What Mai brought up, right? And I think I'm not sure if that tweet is actually the one about Chopper, but I think Spirit had at least average T-side win rate during Chengdu. Maybe Elliot had the stats. Someone had it, but they weren't awful. I think people were just generally not having good T-sides. I think that's more of a general thing, right? It's not.
I'm also, and this is a bit of a change of tact, but I'm pretty sure Halley is the system guy in Spirit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a thing that Halley basically came out in an interview and was in my opinion, the coach is like a football manager, and it's down to the players to fulfill my vision on in the server. So I think whoever you have IGL, you're probably going to get something that looks quite similar to that. I also think the system is clearly just set up to get the best out of Donk. That's
why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? Quite right.
Fine.
And it maybe that comes at the detriment of other players, and that's a fair point. But I also think, I don't know, if you change to a system, a more structured system, they're clearly a little bit loose at the moment. If you change to a more structured system, do you lose some of that power from Dong? I think you probably do.
But is that helping them?
There's a world where they change to accommodate Tania, and they actually just get weaker because Donk is no longer the best player in the world.
He will.
I think. Go on.
It's all well and
he
good.
He will, but there is a world.
It's all well and good just looking at Spirit on the face value and being okay, they came properly into Tier 1 after a small break. January last year. Since then, they've won Cato, Cologne, and Major. It's great doing that. And obviously, it's very impressive that they've done that in such a short span of time. They've also had a lot of disappointments in that time. And when you look at the fact that they have Donk and Shiro, Donk, who is like playing at a peak level that realistically we haven't seen before because he's a rifler and not an AWPer. Like, even if it is mildly lower rated than Simple, I don't know if it is or not. I'd still say it's
I think it's about saying
in a sense.
He's better
because he's on a rifle. No, but I mean, even if the number's lower, like it's better.
Yeah.
I don't actually think that just winning those is okay. We saw Vitality win 7 events in a row. Like, obviously, that's also a freak thing, but Spirit should have won more than they have, and I don't see how it can't be a system issue. So if that's down to Halley, then Halley's the guy who has to go, and you give Chopper another chance. But I just think when other teams manage to have a passive rifling star, an aggro lurking star, and an AWPing star, Spirit should probably look to do that too, and then they'll probably have a more consistent system that leads to more fucking trophies.
Only one of those teams with those systems has won more than Spirit this year. Huh? Like, Vitality have won everything.
Yeah.
It's also, like, how do you compare...
Falcons also should have won.
A year where one team has been dominant as well, right? Like, obviously, they could have beaten them.
Do it across 2 years, then.
I still think it's...
And
I'm looking at the stats now. Mirage is the only map where they have a red T round win percent. They have like 50 or more on every other map in this year on LAN. So
you have to remember as well.
I don't think it's actually a fair.
Shit on quite a few bad teams. So when they play the teams around their level, that it's generally more of a concern.
Yeah,
like
sure, but like
that's true.
That's true of everyone. Really, like it's true of all the big teams.
Yeah, fine, but if the big teams are beating them consistently...
I disagree. But they're not beating them consistently because they won Cologne. And they weren't a favourite for Cologne.
Oh, great, okay. They won one tournament. Well done. What else have they won this year? Bounties and, like...
I think we're in the most competitive time of CS we've ever had. Like, of course they're not going to win everything. Mongols won an event. Vitality won most of them. FURIA just won an event. The top 5 is right, open. So
we're saying a team can be dominant, and we also we think with Donk and Shiro that Spirit probably are the team best set up to be dominant. Would you want Donk and Shiro?
Is their lineup any better than? Is their lineup any better than Falcons?
Yeah, exactly. On a pure paper.
On paper, I think Falcons
and Monacy are probably roll for roll pretty close to Donk and Shiro.
Maybe Monacy. I'm not sure Kaiosuke and Donk are equal.
No, well, Kaiosuke is Nico and Donk, and then Kaiosuke and Tania, which is
Falcons would win in that regard. I would say
it's like pretty close at least. And then like for Vitality, it's like Flames versus Tania. Zaiwu versus Shiro.
Didn't Falcons just...
Okay, Donk beats anyone you put him against, but
didn't Falcons just beat them because Donk does actually not beat everyone because Nico is like his kryptonite.
Well,
yeah, I think that is also a factor.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't think the Spirit. Like, obviously, Donk is the best player in the world, but he is also set up more than any other player in the world. I think that's pretty much inarguable. Like, he is the best player in the world, and he should be set up more than anyone else in the world. That is fine, but I actually don't think this Spirit team is as like, oh, they should win everything. Okay, you can say they've won 1 trophy this year, maybe they should have won 2 or 3. But, like, Falcons probably should win 2 or 3. Vitality should win 2 or 3. Like, it's kind of just like, yeah, there's only one winner of each tournament.
I mean,
right.
I think the bigger issue is that Spirit have these super low lows. Like but that's going to happen when you play a loose style.
Right? Like The other issues with Falcons is that everyone knows there's a fucking constant target on their back, and that probably doesn't help anyone in that team. But in all seriousness, that probably doesn't help anyone in that team. Because only a couple of names know that they're 100% safe all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
and
Falcons have their own
game,
pressures.
Though.
Falcons.
And Donk is obviously set up. But, like, I think because of the looser style, he's not as set up as this argument suggests he is. I'm not saying he is.
I don't know, man.
I
he has a rifle every round.
No, there's that side of it, but
sure.
I mean, it's not Sanji dropping J Morps every round. But I think being this entry aggressive player, like being set up as having a flash run for you here and there, right? Like he's still hitting the shots and ripping heads himself. Like that's still just him being good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Still,
like I don't.
What I mean is, he still takes a lot.
He's not set up the way an AWPer would be. I would say.
He takes a lot of fights purely on the basis of being donk than a system making him donk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if that makes sense.
But then would the system a actual, if you had like a really structured IGL, would he not be able to take these fights? Like, is that not like Donkey's going to take these fights regardless of the system? No?
Yeah. Fine. So if you have a better system,
and have to be benched.
But if you have a better system, then you can also have like someone like Tania, who we've seen is a genuine tier 1 talent, be supported within the system more. And then you have a third star, and then you are talking about winning trophies more consistently. It just would happen. But that is the problem. The problem is Spirit
which is
system,
fine, but
which is my entire point.
I think the problem is the dead weight you have on the team. You've got Zvi, who's like 17 kills in a series. Like last.
I'm not saying he's innocent in this, but
I think
Kaisuke had a stink, and you know.
Yeah, but my main point still stands in that Spirit cannot seem to get anything out of more than 2 people, and that is a problem. Because if you look at the other teams, like your Kindar, Molodoy, Keserato, or you swap Yuri for any one of those names, fucking Exertion, Torsi, Spinks, Rops, Flames, Zywoo. Like, take your pick on any trio for these teams. They're all getting something out of trios. Spirit don't. That has to be a systemic problem when you see it across now multiple names in both of those positions. It's a problem with the system. So something within the system has to change, whether that's Chopper or Halley. Because they don't win as consistently.
Do you need 3 people?
I'd also say that
I think when every other team does, you do.
I don't think that when Spirit win, man, they win well. They win comfortably, right? Like the Cologne final was not tough for them. I don't think.
But like, what?
You know,
it's like.
I don't think they need to copy everyone else.
If they win twice a year, it's cool. Is that what we're saying? Like, they shouldn't strive to be better because if they win twice a year just because, like, two players have insane firepower, then it's all cool.
If it's Cologne and a major, kind of, yeah.
I think that's a pretty pussy approach to it, to be honest.
If it's an IEM and a major, I feel like...
I think you're winning shit, man. Like,
fine.
At the end of the
really
day,
make them the best team in the world, though. When was the last time you thought Spirit was the best team?
No one said they were.
But they obviously want to be. What team doesn't want to be the best team in the world when they're at that level? And when was the best time?
No, I'm sure they want to be.
Seemingly Mouse. Seemingly Mouse.
Well,
like, we've been on this for like 15 minutes. Let's move on, because we're going to get nowhere.
There were other
I don't think this is Chopper's. I don't think this is entirely Chopper's fault. I think
it's probably
multiple
Halley's
problems with that team. I think there's... I mean, it's also Zvei's fault. It's also kind of like, you know, the system's set up for Donk to do well. If he can't beat Nico, then there's kind of a problem.
And also just on this Falcons game, Donk didn't play very well. Like, he just had a bad game.
And I know Sam is going to say...
If your system's built around someone being good.
I know Sam's going to say, well, yeah, if your system's built around Donk playing well, it's not very good. if there's one player in Counter-Strike history you can guarantee will play well in 95% of the game, it is Dong. We will move on to playoffs. Why are Astralis in playoffs? That's my first question. Shouldn't be there. Waste of time.
They were looking alright for the event until playoffs, really.
I mean, they took a map, but I actually think Vitality were really... I actually thought Vitality were really quite poor in this playoffs.
They were not good at all. They should have lost to Mouz.
Well, yeah, we'll breeze over them beating Astralis because Astralis were just never going to win this game no matter what. Like, they're just not. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter that it was 2-1. They weren't going to win. Mouz, we need to have a conversation, Mouz. You have been inexperienced on stage as long as Theo Walcott has been a young prospect. This is not okay. You can't keep choking on stage now. Like, this is just like, you have to beat Vitality on stage at some point. You have to. They can't beat Vitality on stage.
I mean, didn't they technically beat Vitality on stage in the group stage? The group stage was also
let's call stage meaning playoffs.
They technically beat them. Yeah, exactly. This is where we're at. They're technically beating them on stage. Yeah, great. Fucking. Do they not want to be the best team in the world?
Well, I mean,
Zershon was 1v5 for playoffs. Like, Zershon was obviously 1v5 for the whole event.
But this is the thing about Mouz, right? Where I know it's easy to call them chokers still when they get wins in group stages or whatever, but I do just think every win that Mouz gets against Vitality is probably like, it's the bridge before a bridge too far, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not as good as Vitality. They never will be. Vitality's players are just better.
Okay, you can. Okay, I know what you're saying, but this was a choke.
They should have won.
This was a bone. They were 12-4 up.
Well, yeah, okay.
They won train and nearly lost it,
and
they should have won Inferno as well.
You want to talk about dog shit T-sides, you want to talk about Nuke. Nuke was unwatchable.
No.
It was so bad.
That did happen in this game. But, like, as a general point, though, Mouz are very good. But I think they even know deep down that they're not quite good enough.
Do you know how many T-side gun rounds were won in this game? In the first map?
Wasn't it 2?
One.
One for each team?
It was like 2 or 3. It was like, I know Vitality won a Tech 9 Force and Mouz won a Force back, an eco round, and I think a second eco round. And I'm pretty sure Vitality won 2 gun rounds. I think that was it. They had 8 chances. And Nuke is not a map anymore where like the CT side should be this dominant.
No,
in my opinion. And I know it's MR12, so like whatever. But they kind of went to overtime and won 16-13 anyway. This was a horrible T side from both teams, to be quite frank. And a horrendous choke from Mouz. Some of the like I know like you can look at Zaiwu having 30 kills. I think it was either the last round of regulation or one of the last rounds in overtime where he gets 4 kills from ramp with an AWP and he's literally just re-peeking into them and there's no util. There's no flashes. They haven't tried to molly him out. I think they just assume every time he's dropped off and he's just fighting them. And he just kills all 4 of them, one by one, with an AWP.
Device did the same thing to Vitality, didn't he? It's just like the standard of Nuke.
I think
from these teams at the moment is so bad.
Vitality, you're kind of bad at a lot of maps. Like I know you wanted to talk about how bad the train is at the moment.
They're
just not good at the moment.
This is a point now.
Vitality's train is so unevolved.
I think we can now move into the final
2-dimensional
to talk about this, right? So I was going to make a brief comment there about how Nuke used to be the marker of the best team in the world, or I'm not sure it is anymore. I think it's probably Train or Overpass right now, at least. More likely Train.
Okay. So just before also we get into the final, obviously FURIA didn't drop a map or playoffs. They're no longer just a kind of fluky fun team. They're obviously good.
Yeah,
Mongols,
let's briefly
they should have beaten. Falcons, they demolished. I felt. And then obviously this final we'll get into now. But
yeah, you've just quickly gone over the quarterfinals, semi-finals. They've absolutely smashed Mongols and absolutely smashed Falcons by a very similar scoreline. Like,
yeah. I just
undeniable.
Those games weren't really worth talking about as a result.
Yeah. Just so.
Well, I think they are because they were that good, right? But yeah.
No, but we can talk about that in context of Furia. Let's stick with Vitality for a second. Their map pool is fucking horrible right now. Their nuke is not particularly great. Their overpass is not particularly great. Their train is fucking horrible. Like, their train is seriously bad because it's the exact same train that they played at the start of the year. Mm-hmm. So, I think they're currently very far from winning a major.
Must you be? Yeah, definitely. How bad can it be that you float your Instaban? I know Furia don't play it either, but you'd rather ban Train, a map you picked at this event. You've picked it twice in this event, and you've banned it in a BO5 final because you don't trust yourselves on it.
Well, but that's
insane.
Thing,
and Ancient was closer than it should have been for a team that don't play it. What the fuck? That's an exist veto.
I think it says a lot about the current. I think it says a lot about the current mindset of Vitality that they sat there, and yes, they did end up removing the right one out of the two because they would have got fucking spanked on Train. But they sat there and said, you know what? Furia are actually better than us on Train and Overpass, and we have to get rid of one of them. Now, to your Ancient point, Vitality should have won that map. Fallen really bailed Furia out. Really, really bailed Furia out. So Vitality should have been 1-0 in the series.
Yeah.
And that gamble, I'd say that round was piss poor, but you know. It's like and it's something that I interviewed Yekindar this morning, and he said it like Fallen did bail Furia out in this series on every map. Vitality could and realistically should have won every map in this final, but the fact that they didn't, it does just really sum up where Vitality are at right now. And I know I said it a couple minutes ago, but I have a feeling, Elliot, you might not have been with us in that moment. Vitality are really, really far away from winning a major right now. Really far away.
Yeah, which seems like a strange thing to say about a team who just got to the final of an IEM. But they were unconvincing in the semi-final. They should have lost that semi-final 2-0. They dropped a map to Astralis, and you look at Furia, and you're like, yeah, this is clearly a better team than Vitality right now. You look at Falcons, and you think, actually, Falcons, do you think they have a better chance of Vitality? I kind of do, to be honest. I don't know how you feel, but
I don't. Go on, Jack.
We should get a rematch of this in the upper final of Blast Rivals. Furia facing Pain, Vitality facing Tyloo in the opening rounds, and the bracket should lead them to face each other. And I know it's been like 3 days since Chengdu. I don't even know. I'm out of it really. It'll be interesting to see the second result, especially when it's not a final and maybe the pressure's not as on. But yeah, it's wild that a team that's been as dominant as Vitality have been this year can potentially go into the major not looking like a favourite, not even looking like a real contender.
No, I mean,
I would say.
I think that
like they'll mid playoffs, but
they're still obviously a favourite. Like, so it's a funny one, right? Because like when it comes to Falcons, I think history tells you that Nico is never a favourite at a major. Like, as good as his team can be, you have to just consider them not favourites, which is a shame, right? And I also think Falcons still have some composure issues. Like, I can't remember who the fuck he did the interview with. Maybe it was like Dust2DK or something. But I remember seeing a quote from Tessez saying something like, "Oh, we're not going to see we don't want to see any more mini maps after our games, you know, from like their unlosable rounds. Yeah. And then they literally lost one to FURIA. Falcons as a team have composure issues. Like they just do. So I think as well as they are playing, still not convinced that when the pressure's on and they're in these massive games that they can win a major. So I think the favourites are probably as they've been all year in like Vitality, Spirit, and then now FURIA. Because you can't count out FURIA. I know what I said earlier. I think FURIA right now.
I think FURIA might be the favourites. Yeah, which is mad.
Well, I think as well.
Has the favourite ever won a major?
Apart from Astralis 3 times in a row.
Yes, Astralis 3 times in a row. Vitality.
Fnatic multiple times.
Fnatic.
They weren't favorites. Yeah. Nip just choked. In recent times, though, I feel like let's look at like Rio.
The Vitality majors were won by favourites.
They beat fucking
they were.
Legion, man.
But they weren't. It doesn't mean they're not the favourite. But the thing is, though, it's like
difficult anyway.
Furia's a favourite in a really interesting sense because, like, if you look at like Vitality before Austin, they were obviously just the best. And if you look at Vitality and Heroic before Paris, they were the 2 like best teams in the world, so they were the 2 favourites. FURIA are like Cloud9, Outsiders, and Gambit on crack. If that makes sense, in that they should really be like the 5th best team in the world or the 5th favourite to win it, but actually they've won so much that now they're just like the favourite, and that's it's strange.
Yeah, so FURIA and Vitality wrapped up IEM Chengdu, I should say. FURIA with that 3-0 win. Just like that, we're going to cut to an ad break as well. And we'll see you, well, in your time in about 30 seconds and ours in about 3 minutes.
So, Jack, do you find it hard to keep up with all the news in Counter-Strike?
I do. I took a weekend off and I came back to 6 new IGLs, 3 retirements, and apparently Navi's Waterboy got picked up by a top 20 team.
Right, that's why I've been relying on the TLDR newsletter. It's a bi-weekly email that keeps you up to speed on everything in the CS scene without needing to scroll Reddit for 3 hours while questioning your life choices.
Yeah, it's like if HLTV had a baby with your funniest friend who actually watches every game. You get quick hits of news, spicy roster moves, upcoming match schedules, and even some insider gossip. All killer, no filler.
And let's be honest, some of these tournament formats, you need a guide just to figure out who's playing who. TLDR breaks it all down, so you actually know what the hell's going on.
Plus, it's funny. Like, actually funny. It's like reading a group chat between smart CS fans who roast everything in sight, but still care deeply about the game.
So if your brain's full, but your heart still beats for Counter-Strike, do yourself a favour. Sign up for the TLDR newsletter. It's free, fast, and guaranteed to make you smarter. Or at least sound smarter in Twitch chat.
Check out the link down below and subscribe, because the only thing more tragic than missing a major upset is not even knowing it happened.
TLDR. You don't have time to read everything, but you still want to sound like you did.
We mentioned this man earlier when we were talking about Jame and his potential Fallen arc, and you did say, Sam, that he might have a cadiaN arc. I hope that does not include Jame going to OG, because that is what cadiaN has done today. And I just have one question. Why?
Money.
Can I ask which part is the why? Because I think there's quite a few questions from this movie.
Take your fucking pick, man. Take your pick.
I mean, look, right. Now, I think we probably already spoke about this at some point, maybe. I don't know. We kind of try not to talk about OG, but just for the sake of it, because we're on it right now. I still don't really understand. I know Chris in his little tweet afterwards said, like, both parties decided it was a good idea, but everyone always fucking says that. I just don't understand why they'd bench cadiaN. Like, he's one of the better young IGLs in Counter-Strike, right? There's then
I think he probably asked, right?
There's then cadiaN, who I'm not, like, massively high on. But for the level OG are at, you actually can't get much better than cadiaN.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And you've then gone... So why for both of those? But you've then gone to cadiaN. Now, I'm happy that cadiaN won't be rifling, because I've seen him be a rifle IGL, and he was fucking awful. But
I've also seen him AWP IGL in
CS2. And he was fucking awful then as well. So, I can't... Like, this is obviously a backward step for cadiaN. Like, when you look at where he's been in the last few years,
everything off the gallows, maybe.
Everything is a backwards. Everything is a backwards.
His career's done. Forwards is death. So, like...
But, yeah, it you just feel like cadiaN probably should have retired and became a much-loved analyst because of his sense of humour, rather than, you know...
This move is going to Turkey and getting your hair transplant done at, like, 40. It's like this is what it is.
No. But you got to respect
OG.
That's people not being bold.
They're still bald inside, though, aren't they?
This move is going to Greg's for lunch because you can't be asked to cook.
It's sad. I know, because I can understand Greg's. Greg's is alright.
It's cheap and sad, and whatever you cooked would have
been. This move is going to the shop, walking past all the ingredients to buy a Rustler's. You're already there.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I just can't.
I knew a guy at uni who ate Rustler's burgers with a knife and fork.
That's terrible. Posh.
I just can't understand it from
the thing with this move. The thing with this move is they've obviously those viewers who are not visually enjoying the podcast.
Producer Charlie just put a picture of Rio Ferdinand in a QPR kit, which that's pretty good. It's pretty.
OG must be signing someone good, or someone. They must have someone who's alright, because why would they consolidate their open IGL into one role, unless there's a rifler you're getting who's good. But who's good enough to justify having cadiaN on the team? Like, how do you outweigh that?
I know somebody who has an idea. I don't have an idea. What I was gonna say was, like, what about cadiaN to 100 Thieves?
He's been on so many orgs, man.
It's not horrible, is it?
It's not horrible, and I'm not sure 100 Thieves are gonna do better.
Although, I'm also not sure they'd do better. Like, I've obviously said before, they should either get Klim or Sunpius, whoever isn't on G2 next year. But if they do sign a Gamer Legion core, they'll probably be playing at a level from the get-go that is higher than cadiaN's level. So it probably also wouldn't go great.
I don't even think he's that bad, really.
He's not bad. He's just
not bad.
I do agree. Yeah, he's good at tier 2. He's too good for the championship, not good enough for the Premier League. I do agree that cadiaN, like, benching cadiaN is insane.
Which is why I think he must
if that's
be
the
wanting
decision.
To go somewhere.
Yeah,
like, he surely is like, okay, I've shown that I'm decent in this shit team now. Someone get me. Someone save me.
Maybe he's gotten the cadiaN call.
I feel like it's a little too early for that.
Anything that involves cadiaN's demise, I'm happy with, but
I'm still convinced Suhi will be the FaZe IGL. I'm still convinced.
Before he tanked his stocks,
Doesn't matter.
I don't think they can.
Although FaZe historically are very good at. True.
Yeah, he'll just run it. They'll Real Madrid it. He'll run his contract down.
Right.
Yeah, no, I hate this move for everyone. I hate it for cadiaN. The thing with cadiaN is, like, he was obviously really, really good on heroic. Nobody's going to argue otherwise. Online, at least. On LAN, he was like a 1.06-ish player, but obviously a good in-game leader. But literally everywhere else, he's kind of been rubbish. So, like, was heroic? I think heroic was the outlier. Like, okay, you can argue rogue, but like he was playing against like actual piss random. Like on North, he was horrendous.
Heroic is the outlier. 100%.
He's just
it's the one you really
he's
have
just
to
not.
look at.
He's not had a good shake of the tail, really, has he? Like you think, right? What's happened to him career-wise? So he was benched by all the Danish teams. Like no one wanted him. So then he became an analyst for a bit. Then he was on rogue, fighting around with fucking Hiko and
Yeah, well, he was.
What's the Aussie guy? I forgot his name. Yeah, of course.
Ricky.
They were a tier 3 NA team.
Yeah, I know.
You could have no arms and be good at rogue.
He was like a few rounds from the major, if I remember right. Like against North.
And then obviously heroic is successful.
I'm pretty sure they lost to North in a really
two different majors.
But then listen, but
majors. I don't know.
Heroic are good. Then the fucking FBX thing happens like midway through Flashpoint. I don't know if you guys remember that, right? But like the team got sold and it didn't, and they were just stranded in lockdown somewhere in America. And then Heroic is good, and they actually like win a few things. They obviously the EPL thing, and then like return to land. They're like kind of like they're good, and then his two star players, who supposedly like see him as like a father figure and a big brother and stuff, decide to go actually fuck you. They they mutiny and go to Astralis. We all know how well that's gone for them.
Can I stop you there?
It's fucked, isn't it? Like and then you may.
I agree with everything you said up to this point, but I feel like when Elliot said heroic is the outlier, this is also the point where the tail turns on its head, because you look at the Liquid team. Yeah, he's not been a great AWP IGL in CS2 because his AWPing took a real hit. But that Liquid team, should have worked out. And there's things that we know that we're not going to.
Every Liquid team should have worked out.
Fine.
Liquid
but
teams won't work out with a certain man on that squad.
There's things that we know that we're not going to say on the podcast. But that Liquid team did not work out, and a large part of it was due to cadiaN. Yeah, look at Astralis, and I'm not saying that team should have been winning trophies because it fucking shouldn't have. But like, do you know what I mean? Like, it didn't go well there either,
which
did
isn't
it?
great.
Yeah, they got much better.
Yeah, I think self defense is self defense, and I will not elaborate further.
Like, yeah, like he clearly is difficult to work with. Is probably over egging it, but like, there's a reason his 2-star players stabs him in the back, right? And there's a reason he was like blacklisted from every Danish team before. Like, he must be quite difficult to get on with behind the scenes. It's difficult to believe because he's like the nicest guy.
He's really nice. I think he just might be a little bit stubborn, and when people challenge that, I think people who are star players or better than him statistically might come and do the whole let me do this, and he'll say no, let me call or whatever.
Go on, do it in a bad Danish accent. I know you wanted to.
We're gonna win the title. That's all I can say.
We're gonna win the title.
That's the only accent I can do. The only phrase. I just don't think he takes much fucking.
He doesn't take much fucking. That wraps us up, I think, on cadiaN. I don't think there's anything more that needs to be said.
Yeah,
he doesn't take much fucking.
Doesn't take much fucking.
As I alluded to, there is somebody who has an idea who OG's fifth should be. We said they must be signing somebody good if they're going to have cadiaN to replace these two roles. They must be. Our old friend Taken of the Week fame has a great idea. And for those of you who don't have video, he has suggested, and I would like to clarify. He starts this with unironically. He's not joking. Unironically, I would say plus BMAS from Monty for OG's fifth spot, as opposed to the other BMAS. He has experience. I can't imagine he's that expensive. He could help cadiaN a bit. None of those phrases mentioned BMAS being any good. Which I think is quite telling. There's not a single part of this sentence where he says he's a good player. He has experience of losing. He's not that expensive. And he could help cadiaN a bit. With what? Because it's not Counter-Strike. And I was a BMAS believer for a long, long time.
I do like though.
I don't dislike BMAS.
I do. But it is good after that. He's just said, otherwise I would say susp and he can join his Adam B again. Like,
big fan of the podcast.
Yeah, which is cute.
Yeah, big fan of Adam B, me.
I think susp is a reasonable call, honestly.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Susp is a lot more reasonable.
I don't really hate the BMAS suggestion, honestly. Like, it seems the kind of move that OG would do. I think that's the issue. It seems
That's
realistic.
why I hate it.
It seems possible.
That's why I hate it. It's something OG would do. Ergo, it's a terrible idea.
Can I say something?
The realistic rumour, though. You may. Unkind?
I'm not sure that... No, I wasn't sure what word I was going to say, to be honest. But I'm not really sure that's fair on OG anymore. I know that we're very used to Tier 1 OG being, like, particularly stinky and only signing shit players. But, like...
Tier 1 OG is so generous.
But they were playing in every Tier 1 event for some fucking reason. But before
partner league.
this cadiaN move that we can't really wrap our heads around, and, you know, if it works, great for them, I guess. They were actually making pretty smart moves for a year. Like, Tier 2 OG this year has actually been quite well run.
They've made so many moves. Some of them are going to be good eventually.
No, but they've had a string of good ones.
Shit, stick, right?
Yeah, and then they signed cadiaN. Like, it's clearly just luck.
Well, I think that's just name value danger, isn't it?
Yeah, because I would say that's why they signed Astralis as well, though, because they'd heard of him.
It's a sweet rice.
No, I don't know. I feel like
Bro,
John Sweet Rice.
They have
like
Buzz on the bench. They have Buzz on the bench.
Yeah, but he was gone a while ago at this point. I feel like John Sweet Rice was more just like he still had some residual rep built
aura
where it wasn't a bad signing, but it turns out that
I actually like it.
He is just crap. I won't criticize why they made that signing.
No, it's just more like
okay. So
gone for a name, I think.
Who are they actually going to get? Who do you think?
Well, if we click on the tweet from "You can trust every word that comes out of his mouth,"
that was a segue. Hello, you.
Flamus, apparently.
I mean, yeah, isn't he on like VP terrorism buyout contract prison? So
isn't it something like a 4-year
I don't know if OG have
contract?
money.
I think it's a 4-year contract and a 1 million buyout. But on OG having money, didn't they recently raise quite a lot of money through like some?
They sold their Dota 2 team, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, but didn't they also have a funding round, whatever the fucking term is?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, they sold Girl Scout cookies.
I think they got a few million from that. And they also did say that they're
going to spend it on Flammers.
Reaffirming their ambition, whatever that means. OG probably should have some money. So maybe a big money move for Flammers isn't out of the question. Because VP are going to want to recoup most of that million they paid for him.
Jesus Christ. OG,
they didn't pay $1 million for Flammers.
OG, if you're listening. If you are listening, do not spend 700k on Flammers. It's not going to move the needle. Do not. I mean, if you can get him on loan,
good.
Flammers is really good. My problem is not that Flammers is
700k
good. It's not even that. There's like 3 players in the world OG could sign that would make them like relevant. Like, don't spend loads of money on one player when you have Adam B on the team. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like that's not even a criticism of Adam B. It's like
respect.
You're not gonna be top 10 in the world when the rest of your team is cadiaN, Adam B, Aros, Dos, and Spooky. Like, I don't care how good Flammus is. He ain't donk, so you ain't gonna be top 10. Like,
yeah, I guess if they like keep
Flammus is good
changes,
though.
Like Flammus
is
like,
good.
Killed him.
Like if they do keep making those changes though, like Flammus is a very good starting point that would probably end up being the one that you just build around for the next 3 changes you made. Yeah.
Just don't spend loads on him. That's just going to be a bad idea. If you can get him for cheap, I like it. If you can't, there's other Russians. There's other like Russian speaking players who
I've got a thought experiment for us.
Oh God.
Which prison's worse, VP contract jail, or playing with cadiaN in 2025?
I mean,
I think
is not playing the game better.
Yeah, I think so. Because
no.
You can just play pugs at home if you're in contract prison.
Well, VP have also let Flammus and other bench people play in a couple of like smaller online things and like little mixed teams. They're not that arsed. Yeah. Whereas if you're on a team with cadiaN, you are stuck with him.
Yeah, you have to be asked because he's going to be like right up. He's going to be really bothered about winning that third place playoff.
It is a shame though, isn't it? Like I actually do quite like cadiaN. I always thought he was fun.
I really like
He's a nice guy.
Really nice. He's lovely.
He's a nice bloke. That heroic team was one of the most fun teams I think I've ever watched. Really,
they were good to watch, but I did dislike.
Great. Fine, like the way they played was great. So it's just a shame that like CS2 just made him a bit rubbish.
Yeah, it like CS2 really did kill cadiaN. Do we have anything else to talk about? Blast Rivals?
Yeah. Here's a thought experiment before we move on. Is there anyone that CS2 actually like halted their career? I'm going to say not counting Simple, because I think that was CS2 and other factors.
Yeah.
More than cadiaN.
Not more than. There's others that were affected, but I don't think anyone was affected more.
Let me think.
Who else would you say?
I know there's obviously answers to the opposite, but
I was just say Brokey with the asterisk that like Phage was still good at the start of CS2, but I think he's definitely like I think just AWPers in general, right, have suffered.
Yeah, I was gonna say some Pius for a bit. He's now fine again.
But then some play like
he's not great still.
Obviously, we never saw Donk and Go, right? But I think like CS2 just does like lean into his mechanics and his play style quite well, right?
Jame.
Yeah, Jame, actually. Jame.
Yeah, 100%. Another AWPer actually.
I mean, he's now built himself up on Paravision, but I from what I'm told, they play a bit of a different style. They're a little bit more aggressive. Mm-hmm. It's like an adapted version of VP for like worse players, is what I'm told, but they're a little bit more aggressive. Not that they could be any less aggressive. Yeah, I think like all the players we've named have been AWPers, which is quite telling. It's mostly AWPers.
Shouldn't use the pay to win gun then, should you really?
Well, yeah, quite.
Have some fucking pride.
I'm trying to think if there's any riflers who've just been like they just got one shot by it. Like, I don't think it's possible for a rifler to be completely one shot by CS2. I mean, me. Ben me.
Fucking move on. Move on. Let's make some fucking predictions. We've ruined it now.
Blast Rivals. That starts. Is it tomorrow as we record today? As you're available today. If you're not listening, if it's already started when you're listening, if it was yesterday, grow up. You should have been listening yesterday. Blast Rivals is in Hong Kong in Czech Lapcock. Still there.
That's good.
Yeah, this is another one that's on early in the morning for us Westerners.
That was brilliant.
We begin with a game that is absolutely not worth waking up at 2:00 in the morning for. which is the Mongols with controllers versus Passion USA.
Can we please refer to him by his government name of Unidelga Controllers Barter Jargle?
Barter Jargle is
absolute biblical.
Thing. I'm pretty sure Barter means hero, but I don't know what the rest means.
We were during coverage. I think we translated it, and I think Barton Jargle means it's basically saying today is a blessing, but twice. I think his whole name is Thursday. Today is a blessing. Maybe that's when he was born. I don't know, but it's just fucking
amazing.
Awesome. He is a blessing. News. He is really good, and Passion UA are really, really, really rubbish, and they don't play the games anymore. I think they signed to Passion, and they just stopped playing. I haven't seen them.
Yeah, ironically enough, they signed. It's actually really odd. All of it.
Charlie, just go alarming, on their
really.
Go on their profile real quick and look at when their last game was. They just don't play the game. It's really strange.
September. So they haven't played for a month and a half.
I did wonder where they'd gone. I've not heard.
And they won.
They lost in the first round.
A Latvian LAN. Is it even a LAN? Was that online? I'm assuming it's a LAN.
But they were clearly doing okay as well. And then have they been on a month-long boot camp and we're just right, we're not playing any officials in this time? I would like the absence explained, actually.
Well, I don't have the answer, so you're gonna have to find it for somebody else.
Yeah, lack of comfort in the crotch.
They'll be at the major, so maybe they were just they're building up a massive strat book for the major while everyone else is grinding, wasting all their ideas. We've talked about how teams run out of ideas by the end of the season because they've just been running the same strat book and they've had no time to go up. They've had so much time. JT and TC have been in the lab cooking up new flashbangs to throw that their players can then whiff on. This is, I just don't want to watch this. Mongols are better than I thought they were going to be, but they're still worse than they were, and that's just sad. Go on.
Do you think if Passion just didn't come back, would we care? If they just if this break just was forever, and would you miss them?
I don't think I'd have noticed if they weren't at the event.
Precisely that, right?
I'd probably eventually be like, we should get Hulzerk on a team now. But the rest of them, fucking couldn't give less of a shit. We could just get TC
maybe
on the
is
podcast.
Kvem good? I have no idea.
Kvem's probably joining Fnatic, isn't he?
For God's
sake.
Eventually. I hate everything you've just said. I hate everything that's just happened. I hate everything that's just been said. Let's move on. Thankfully, the second game of this event is an absolute thigh rubber, gigabanger, fucking must watch. Get up, whatever time it is for you. It's 4:30 for us. Get up and watch this. It's Spirit versus Falcons. It's just thank you very much for the start has been shit, but look at that main course, man. Look at it. Get that down my throat.
Group A is just evil, though, isn't it? It's 3 of the top 5, whether you agree or not,
and the Mongols
and the Make-A-Wish team. Not good, is it? How's that happened? I know it's an 8-team tournament. It's kind of a farce anyway. But
it's because only 4 of them are VRS invites. The other 4 are wildcard invites.
Yeah, there's a lot of wildcard invites. Right?
Falcons are a wildcard team.
So it's definitely just a joke of an event
then.
ESL shield.
Ignoring the contract that I have with Blast, I do think Rivals is a pretty crappy format, yeah. I think Rivals should be changed for next year. I don't really see the point in it, to be honest. If it's meant to be
VRS
Blast Bounty is cool, but Blast Rivals, I don't care.
Spirit Mongols Fury Vitality.
Yeah, I just think with Rivals, it just doesn't make sense. It's meant to be the biggest event of your Blast season. By the way, HLTV lists them wrong. They're just meant to be called Blast Tournament Location now, not Season 2. But it's your biggest event of your season, but it's also your smallest event in terms of teams. And it's not even just using VRS invites, which I don't think they can anyway, because it's only 8 teams. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me as a tournament.
But
yeah, like, why a Passion UA there if it's meant to be your biggest event?
I don't want to be rude, and I also don't want to like be shilling for VRS either. But like, if half the teams attending can be wildcard invites, that seems like you're not really following VRS at all. Then
it would kind of be fine if they didn't invite Payne.
I think it might be an exception because of how much VRS rules have changed this year. But I also just think, right,
it's all bollocks.
If we're leaving best of ones in the past and best of 3 finals in the past, can we leave 8-team tournaments in the past? I don't see the point in them.
They are a bit shit, aren't they?
They're really
do
shit.
have to agree.
And this doesn't even.
Like, this should be the playoff.
Right? 4 days.
I mean, it shouldn't be the playoffs because Passion UA are in it. But this should be the playoff. 8-team playoffs are fine.
But it doesn't even have like the insulation that like an old Blast event used to have, where like you say what you want about the Blast partner system, but it did mean that typically you were getting like at least 6 or 7 of the top 10 teams in the world at every Blast event, and like they were good. Old Blast events were good, but this is just a worse version of the old Blast system. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Bounty. I like Blast Bounty, but you what? Sorry,
I was going to say, should we talk about the last 2 games and fuck off?
Oh yeah, why not? FURIA versus Payne. FURIA 2-0. Vitality Tyloo.
Yeah. Vitality 2-0.
Tyloo
2-1. There's. I mean, it feels weird to say there's more chance of Vitality dropping a map to Tyloo than FURIA dropping one to Payne. And that's not a comment on Payne or Tyloo.
No, I agree.
Vitality, like, the thing is, if Tyloo pick, like, Train or Ancient, like, they've got a chance, but Tyloo won't pick Train because it confuses them.
Doesn't Tyloo play an okay amount of Train?
I have no idea.
Are there lots of trains in China?
They literally, like, every time I watch Tyloo play, they're playing Mirage or Inferno. I don't, like, I don't think they actually do play quite a lot of Train.
They got
like,
a
I've only ever seen them play
rate.
Mirage.
In the veto, lads.
I just like to say, Inferno is their first pick on HFTV because they've played it 11 times in the last 3 months with 8 losses. It's like their statistically 3rd worst map, and it's their first pick. I love it.
Just as a closing point. Sorry, Jack, if you got something to say, you go.
I just don't think this event's. I just don't care. Like the team that wins it maybe has a higher chance of winning the major. I just don't care, and it's not. I'm trying not to be ESL chill, man, but the time zone fucking sucks. Like I had to be awake for Chengdu. I don't have to watch this, so I won't be. Maybe I'll watch the playoffs, but it's not a good games, are they? They're just not good.
No, a lot of them aren't. But
Spirit Falcons is, but I just don't care.
As a final point, Charlie, could you just go on to Tyloo's HLTV page, please, and then click on stats and just scroll down to their map win statistics in the past 3 months?
Great, I love them.
These are absolutely terrible. And for people,
yeah, they have 11 games on Inferno.
For people who don't have video, so Train they've played 5 times. They have a 60% win rate. Overpass they've played 5 times.
That's 3 wins.
Win rate. Mirage they've played 5 times. They have a 40% win rate. Inferno, as Elliot said, they've played 11 times and they have a 27.3% win rate, which is 3 wins. Ancient they've played 4 times, winning 1. And Nuke, they've played 6 times, winning 1. Their map pool is actually abysmal. That is one of the worst map pools you'll ever see.
How are they even at
events? Pretty bad. So I just had a look as well at who they beat on Train and Overpass, just for some reference. They beat Astralis on both. They beat B8 Astralis and Fluxo on Train, with losses to 3D Max and Fnatic, which is about, it's kind of fine for their level. They beat Astralis, 3D Max, and Lin Vision on Overpass, with losses to Mongols and B8, which is kind of like fine. But those are their two best maps. And then you go to like Inferno, which, as we mentioned, is kind of their first pick. And it's like, yeah, they beat Liquid, Game Illusion, and Lin Vision, and lost to everyone else. They lost to Astralis, Vitality. I mean, Vitality battered them at Esports World Cup. I know that's a while ago. 3D Max, Aurora, Fnatic, FaZe, Falcons, and Pain have all beaten them on Inferno, which is like their home map. They've got like very few of those games. They even got double figures as well. They got double figures against Aurora, Fnatic, Pain. The rest were all like 13-8 to 13-5 ish. But if they get Train, they can beat Vitality on it. And if Vitality ban Train and pick Ancient, I actually think Vitality will 2-0 them. But that's quite brave because they don't really play Ancient. The opening games are a little, other than the Falcons one, is a little uninteresting. But there's enough good teams here that playoffs should be pretty good as long as there's.
It will probably have a good.
It's just predictable until Friday, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But you never know. You never know. Maybe Tai Lu make it happen in Hong Kong. Who knows?
Who's political?
I was deliberately avoiding political statement there, because last week we made about 15. Is there anything else to talk about? Is there anything else to talk about? I feel like we've talked about everything. We've talked
slow
about
news week, isn't it?
Slow news day. Indeed.
I will say, just sort of touching back on Chengdu, it was a good event. It was a really good event.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good games, good results. I tend to write off the Aussie and Asian events generally. Like I just because I don't watch them. I'm glad I was working it. I'm glad I watched it. I actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, time zones always suck, but it's a good event, and that's all I have to say about it. It was good.
You got any closing words, Sam? Leave the people with.
I stand by my earlier statement on the Unabomber.
Don't give your address.
I have been Elliot AZS. That's been Sam Animo, the guy who liked the Unabomber. We distance ourselves from him. That's Jack, the train guy. I think that's still the most famous thing you've ever done.
So far. Until I become the Unabomber.
Till you... Jesus Christ.
I will worship you.
Forget what I said about the political statements.
That's it, guys.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Let's
See you all
off.
next week.
Bye.
Don't open your letters.
Apart from the newsletter, you should open the TLDR newsletter. The Unabomber cannot put a bomb in an email. Bye.